Oh, well. I tried.
There you go. Hey, we're live.
Are we?
Yeah, live on the internet.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wow, great live performance of that theme song.
That's right.
Hello and welcome to episode number 868 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, July 11th, 2023. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada, is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
That's all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks very much. It's good to be back. It's very good to be back after 2 weeks of not podcasting. I had
you weren't here last week or the week before.
This thing is going on Sunday. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with us as always, as well, from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Your dreams were your ticket out.
That's right.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
To that same old place that you laughed about.
Uh-huh.
It's from an old TV show.
Which one?
The Facts of Life.
Different Strokes.
George Clooney got his start on that show. I don't know if you were aware.
Oh, I was not aware.
Yes.
Actually, that's
Hollywood's George Clooney.
Oh.
Was once a lowly situation comedy actor.
Yes.
So.
No, so I wasn't here for the last two shows. I want to first of all congratulate you guys on doing some really good episodes there, both with Benjamin Rivers, and then just the classic style two host kind of thing. I thought both episodes were really good.
Well,
thanks, man.
Once we trimmed out the dead weight,
I didn't listen to them. I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
No, I did listen to them, and I listened to the after shows.
I was feeling good about myself
as well, and I thought they were really good. So thank you for picking up the mantle, Greg, and hosting. That was great. I want to let you know that I'll be gone for the next 2 weeks after.
Jesus Christ!
This, just to let you.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I am not going to be home.
Oh dear!
But I may actually be able to be on the podcast next week. So we'll see.
We'll talk about goodness!
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about that later. So what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. First of all, I went to the Festive Legends, which was a Sea of Thieves get together / tournament in Columbus, Ohio.
That sentence just kept getting more exciting.
Yeah, famous historical pirating,
famously
center of the universe.
That's right, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio, landlocked location. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio.
Not a lot of people know that, but before they went to the Caribbean, that's where the pirates hung out. Columbus, Ohio.
They did, and they had
they sailed the Great Lakes.
A Skyline Five-Way. That's where the Skyline Five-Way originated.
Oh, that's where they. Okay, there you go. Yeah. See? No. Don't say we never teach you nothing.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was the Festive Legends. So I went to that, and a bunch of people from the Keelhauled podcast server got together there during that event. So that was a lot of fun. Captain Logan is the host of the Keelhauled podcast, and he's sort of the admin of that server, and I've met and sailed with a lot of folks from there, including your friend Mike is on that server, so hung out with Mike.
Who's CJ's friend?
CJ's Mike.
Friend, Mike.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and a lot of other folks too, so that was a ton of fun. Also ran into a listener of the podcast. I ran into Michael and his son, both listeners of the Player One podcast, said hello.
Hi, Michael.
They love that I talk about Sea of Thieves and that you guys hate it. So expect more of that.
Look, it's not hate. It's indifference.
It's indifference.
Which is very different.
and his son had me sign his skateboard. He had like a
Whoa.
skateboard that he was handing around to different.
You're really well known for your skateboarding.
Yeah.
Podcasters and content creators, and yeah.
Wow.
That was.
I
Cool.
hope you signed it, Tony Hawk.
I should have. No,
Did you
Dave
just-
Mira. I signed it, Dave Mira.
Dave Mira. That's pretty good.
Hearts and Kisses love Sean White. Did you just
This
sign your
is
name, or did you
snowboard.
put something cool on there like "Keep shredding"?
I didn't put anything cool on there. No.
Skate or
Hang
die,
loose,
bro.
brah.
Yeah, but then so that was one weekend. So hanging out with my online friends from Sea of Thieves in real life, that was a lot of fun. We went to Skyline Chili, we went to Dave and Buster's, we went to Dirty
Hey,
Frank's.
Dave and Buster's is our place.
That's
Not
true.
anymore, buddy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Went to a bunch of 16-bit
Ouch.
bar in Columbus that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Columbus, Ohio, famously the birthplace
Ohio.
of 16-bit video game consoles.
Yep.
Clearly, yeah.
That's where they created the
Very
Amiga as well.
technology focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had my first Skyline Chili experience.
I don't know what that means.
It's,
He keeps saying that like we're
Yeah,
supposed
like,
to know what that
I-
means.
It's
I
like
assumed you
some
did
kind of
'cause you're
Ohio
American.
delicacy. I don't know. It's
Okay.
spaghetti with some kind of not really chili on top, and shredded cheese and onions, and
Not really chili.
it's not chili as in the way you're thinking when I say chili. It's not that. I
It's not
guess,
like-
is the
Like
best.
actual chili.
Yeah, no.
What
it's not, and yes,
differentiates
it's
it
not a
from actual
Columbus thing
chili?
specifically, as Scoop Jessica in the chat is saying. It's an Ohio type thing. So
Mm.
there you go.
Oh, Scoop Joey loves this conversation because he's a native of Cincinnati. So let's keep going.
Cincinnati style chili.
I'll tell you,
yes.
the only thing I know about Cincinnati style is laser
Ah.
tag.
Amen to that, buddy.
Yeah, and can you
So-
describe what makes Cincinnati style?
Well, first
play
of all, I
style
believe
and laser
it's
tag?
Photon. It's not laser tag branded.
No, it's not.
Well, I
laser
know, but he
tag.
always called it laser tag. So we're talking about, of course, the late
Andy Barron.
Andy.
Yes.
I'm
Andy
blanking
Barron.
on his last name. Thank you, Andy Barron, the late Andy Barron, who most people probably, well, if they listen to the show long enough, they know, but most people probably don't know. He pretty much was the ghostwriter for Ed Semrad
Yeah.
on EGM for years. So
Yeah.
Ed Semrad reviews most of the time were written by Andy Barron.
That's
But by the time I got to Ziff Davis, Andy was an editor on Expert Gamer, which was the magazine I started at. And he was the first editor that I met in person at Expert Gamer. And he was a big laser tag fan. He played competitively.
Yes.
He did.
And he always talked about this style of play that he utilized that he called Cincinnati style.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati style was that he would cover up he would use his arms to cover up the sensors. That was Cincinnati
That's right.
style.
That was the
Which just
But he
seems like
always-
cheating.
style.
But it just anytime I hear the name of the city, Cincinnati, that's all I can think of is Andy Barron
Same.
laser tag, Cincinnati
Same
style.
here. Same here. Yeah. If you don't know
Uh,
Andy Barron, you should go back. We did a whole episode
We did, yeah.
eulogizing
we did.
Andy. But yeah, so that was one weekend, and that was a lot of fun. And then last weekend we
Mhm.
went to Las Vegas, as I sometimes
Nevada?
do. Nevada, yeah, and saw Jack Whitehall, who is a stand-up comedian from the UK, perform in
Cincinnati.
Vegas.
Cincinnati, UK.
And my daughter is really into stand-up comedy right now. She watches a lot of stand-up comedy on Netflix, and some appropriate for some age appropriate, some not age appropriate. But so she really enjoys the comedy stylings of Jack Whitehall, and he also has a show on Netflix called Travels with My Father, where he takes his 70-year-old father on to exotic locales and
And leaves him there
it's
and
quite humorous.
makes him find his way back home on his own.
That's right. That's right. No, but it's worth watching. And so we, saw that he was performing one night only in
Oh.
Vegas.
Really?
He's on tour now in the UK.
Oh, okay.
but only
And the
one
UK
date.
It's
in
so
the
close to
US.
Vegas. You might as well stop there
I know.
and do one
Apparently,
show.
the reason why he had like one date in Las Vegas in the middle of July, or like the beginning of July,
Yeah.
it was a scheduling mishap. Like he agreed to do the show without knowing what the dates were going to be, and then so it was like one date at the beginning of July
what did
while
his
he's
manager
touring the UK.
Say I can get you booked at the Excalibur, and he was like, "Oh, that
I
must
love
be
that
something in the
place.
UK.
That's right.
King Arthur-y sounding."
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Where was it at?
It was at the Wynn
The Wynn.
in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
The Wynn Casino.
WYNN.
WYNN. Yes. And it was a great show. We had a lot of fun, and as part of it, we got like VIP. We did like a VIP package so that my daughter could meet Jack Whitehall. So we got a picture with Jack Whitehall. It was amazing, and my daughter very excited. She was so excited.
Yeah.
Said nothing to Jack Whitehall.
So it was like me meeting Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah, yeah. Except she said actually nothing, not even hello.
Oh.
She was completely silent, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
it was
that's
a lot
funny.
of fun, and he was very, very nice. And the
Oh,
show
good.
was great, and it might be one of the best stand-up performances that I've seen live. So it was a ton of fun. And
How much stand-up have you seen live? I'm curious.
I have seen Jerry Seinfeld. I've
Okay.
seen Louis C.K. I've seen Patton Oswalt. I've seen Aziz Ansari. I've seen everybody else who's been canceled before. No, I've seen a bunch.
Okay.
Patton Oswalt, I saw him with our friend Mike, different Mike,
Right.
from Illinois.
Illinois Mike.
Like, right when Patton Oswalt was like getting like super popular in a pretty small club. That was awesome. So yeah, I've seen my fair share of stand-up comedy.
Very nice.
I don't know if you could call the Tenacious D show that I went to in Chicago stand-up comedy, but
I don't know.
It's a comedy show, but I wouldn't say it's
comedy show.
Stand-up comedy.
I guess that's
peripheral.
true. I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a pretty great 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Well, we really enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
it sounds like
it was really refreshing.
Great 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I packed the outline with things
with all the stuff we
should
missed.
talk about. Well, and also you talked about the Nintendo Direct a little bit. I didn't get to talk at all about the Nintendo Direct, so I'm going to talk about it now.
We planned it that way
because that's what the internet need is another white guy talking about the Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I understand there's a new Mario game.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder looks awesome. Let me tell you.
I love Super Mario Brothers.
Is amazing. They've taken everything that I hated about the new Super Mario Brothers series and they've turned it on its head.
Oh.
No. I think it looks great. I think the little animation flourishes that they've added to it, like you can see really close up, like when Mario enters the pipe and like grabs his hat and comes out of the pipe and like looks around. And the animation style kind of looks it reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fix-It Felix sort of how Fix-It Felix emotes and the people in that machine emote kind of has a similar vibe to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you listened to our episode, but we had a whole discussion about that.
I did, and I also want to say this isn't the remake of Super Mario Brothers USA /2 that I wanted. However, it is just as weird. Like Super Mario Brothers 2 has the rocket ship that you pull out of the ground, and like, what the hell is up with that in a Mario game? And this has that same kind of vibe to it. My daughter watched the trailer, and her immediate comment was, "Is Mario on drugs?"
Yeah, mushrooms.
There it is.
My 11-year-old daughter. Yeah. Is Mario on drugs? But anyway, Yeah, and the Pikmin stuff looks awesome. I did pick up Pikmin
Super
1
Mario
and
goes to
2.
the dispensary.
Yeah. Very excited about new Pikmin.
Yeah.
Downloaded
Yeah.
the demo, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I thought the Nintendo Direct was great. I thought it was good, really, really good. A lot of great stuff in there. So I'm excited about it all. I've never played Super Mario RPG, and I'm looking forward to actually playing
Is
that
that
when that
right?
remake comes out. Yeah, I never played it.
And Greg, you haven't either, right?
No, I played through it.
Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I said was that I really liked it,
Yeah.
but I was already I was pretty hardcore into RPGs from like Dragon
yes,
Warrior
yes.
forward. But I know, and actually, we have someone in our chat, Scoop Jessica, who was talking earlier about how stupid we are about Cincinnati. She had said previously that was actually her first RPG, and that's what I think. I think that was probably the introduction to for a lot of people to role playing games, because it was sort of the first one. As much as those of us who were big nerds who like to think that since we liked role playing games, they were really popular. They weren't really all that popular.
No,
no,
they
of
were
course
not.
not.
So
Not until Final
Mario,
Fantasy VII.
well,
Absolutely.
I'd say Mario RPG was one of the first examples of taking a license that was sort of universally loved and very approachable and slapping it into a role-playing game, which is what I think probably drew a lot of people to that game the first time. So I think
that's true.
There'll be a lot of people who are reliving, their first RPG experience.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
I'm looking
I
forward to playing it.
personally liked it a lot. I wouldn't put it near Final Fantasy VI or something like that, but I did really enjoy it. So
yeah. And the other thing about Super Mario Wonder, it's multiplayer, but you don't collide with the people you're playing with. It has no collision in those multiplayer bits. So the new Super Mario Brothers games, you can play 4 players. You bounce all over each other.
I don't remember that at all.
It does not have it in this one. So that's kind of exciting because that kind of stuff sort of dragged those games down as multiplayer games. Just want to say. Anyway.
Very little memory of those games.
And hey, Luigi's Mansion 2 Switch remake.
Right? Yeah,
so
super excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will play through that again. And just nice to have it on the Switch, not locked to the 3DS, right?
Yeah.
Locked to the 3DS. Yeah. Although I did buy it digitally on 3DS.
Oh, did you?
So I still have it. I bought it physical and digital. It's one of the few games that I have had on both.
Nice.
Yes. All right. So I guess we can go ahead and get into the news. What do you think about that? So Yuji Naka.
How about that guy?
Not having a great time, but maybe a little better. He has to pay a $1.2 million fine. And he did receive a 2-year prison sentence, but it's suspended. So that means as long as they're
going to hang him from the ceiling?
As long as he keeps his nose clean, he won't have to serve any jail time. You see?
Wow. Is this a new character? What does his nose have to do with anything?
Is this like a Japanese judge?
That's right.
But he sounds like a mobster.
Yes,
Brooklyn mobster.
My name is Yakuza Tony.
There it is. There it is. Yakuza Tony.
Yakuza Tony.
CJ's delightful new character.
Yeah. So as long as he doesn't do anything to break the law, he stays out of jail, so he can make more video games. Maybe, who knows? But
do we really want him to do that?
It turns out he insider traded twice. Did we know that? I think we knew that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, he pleaded guilty, and now he's been sentenced. So there you go. Yeah. All right. So there's this story about Capcom considering how to approach new Mega Man games.
Don't. That's how.
I want to ask Phil, Since
Uh-oh.
Phil is the resident Mega Man fan on the show,
Mega Maniac.
I do
The
enjoy
Mega
Mega Man games.
Maniac, he loves the Blue Bomber.
Loves
I
Mega
do.
Man.
I do.
Phil, how would you
Uh-huh.
approach a new Mega Man game in 2023?
Carefully,
Oh, boy.
with low expectations.
I don't know.
Because
I mean,
they made 9, 10, 11 as like 2D side scrolling game, the 9 and 10 being the retro NES
Right.
graphics, and 11 being the new.
I think lumping 9, 10, and 11 into one group is doing a horrible disservice to 9 and 10.
well, you know
Sure.
what's crazy? From what I understand, 11 sold really, really well, right? Relatively
it
speaking.
sucked.
I don't know.
I believe it did. I think 11 sold quite well comparatively. And yeah, I was not that big on 11. So don't ask me. Don't ask me because I don't know. Because
But what would you want to see though, as a Mega Man fan? You just want to see more of 11?
the
He just
game
finished
I
saying he didn't
just
like
said I didn't
11.
really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to see them do that?
Yeah, I want to see him make more of the game that I didn't really like. That would be the best way to go about it, I think.
Okay.
I think that's probably the most likely way they're going to go. But
you think they could make a 3D go back to like that
Wait.
style of game? Use the RE engine and make
Look.
a nice looking 3D.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I love Mega Man. You know I love Mega Man.
Yeah,
I've always
it's-
loved Mega
yep.
Man.
Yep.
I don't know if Mega Man works anymore. I don't know
Really?
if I mean,
You don't know.
you know, I'm probably wrong because again, like I said, Mega Man 11 sold well from what I understand. And also, you know what, the Battle Network collection that just came out
Yeah.
mhm.
Sold
apparently
over 1 million copies.
very
apparently.
well,
Yeah.
which, you know, that's
character clearly still has legs.
well, you know what it is? It's the you know, all these kids who
These
were
kids today.
young in the early aughts
Yeah.
are now grown up and wanting to relive their childhood. So just like how we were like, "Ooh, Mega Man 9 and 10 are they're classic 8-bit styled," you know, because we're old. Nowadays, it's the youngsters who are like, "Oh man, Mega Man Battle Network was the best."
To be fair, because
Yeah.
we're sitting here sort of crapping on Mega Man 11, Mega Man's 11 Metascore is like 80s,
Yeah,
and like the user score is like mid 70s. So it was clearly pretty well received.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So
I
you know, I didn't like it.
my problem with it was they I didn't like that gear system. You know, they were
No,
trying to
same.
do too much, which took away from kind of the core, the kind of simplistic feel of Mega Man, which is what I enjoyed about that series. But apparently, you know, again, the sales numbers, the critic scores seem to say otherwise. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you left it up to me, which you absolutely shouldn't do, because I am going to make something that will appeal to me and me alone, maybe a handful of people. First of all, you know, they've been doing these collections, you know, the Mega Man collection, the X collection, the Zero collection, the Battle Network collection. Get the Legends collection out.
Yeah.
First of all, get Legends 1 and 2, get Tronbon, and get the demo for Legends 3. Why not?
That would be good.
Get
Why
that
not?
on a collection. Get that out. Add proper analog controls to the Legends games.
Yeah.
Get that out there because the Legends games are fantastic. You know, the control is wonky because they didn't have the analog controls, but add that, boom, you're golden. So get that taken care of. Then make a Mega Man 12, make it look 8-bit again, because that's what I remember, and that's what is Mega Man to me.
Yeah.
Then make Mega Man X9 and make it look all 16-bit.
That'd be cool.
Of course it would. So, and I think that would probably do really well. I think a Mega Man X9 would do better than an 8-bit looking Mega Man 12.
Yeah, I think we might be past that sort of the sell by date on going to do the 8-bit stuff is kind of past.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's just it.
Yeah, probably.
That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, Mega Man 11 did well, apparently.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Capcom's on a bit of a high right now.
Yeah.
So they can take a risk with things.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. And they love to do collections. So yeah, maybe we need a Legends collection next.
Oh, we absolutely need a Legends
Oh, they
collection.
should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put Mega Man 64 on there just for good measure.
Yeah, you might as well.
Well,
yes.
Those of us who have Friday the 13th, the game,
all 5 of you,
enjoy this story. They are the developers. It's getting delisted, by the way, at the end of this year, and the servers, they're going to turn those off in 2024 at some point. But for now, Gun is updating the game to basically unlock everything for all players.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
The most popular perks are now unlocked, no negative effects. Everybody is maxed to max level. All animations are unlocked. So if you haven't experienced all that stuff, everything's unlocked and you can play. And so that's exciting. The game's getting delisted, but at least there's a little bit of playability left. And you don't have to feel like you have to race to get through the progression because everybody's going to be at max level.
Yeah. No, I like that idea a lot. That's the proper thing to do if you're going to delist a game like this.
Yeah. And apparently part of it is because they want to turn off their servers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just by default maxing everybody so they don't have to keep track of any user accounts or stats.
So is that, I mean, the servers are going to be turned off, but are they going to make it so that the game is, I don't know the proper terminology, but like that users can keep playing?
Well, they haven't said anything about that
okay.
yet, but the servers aren't actually being turned off until next year. So
no, I know, but I'm still like, it'd be nice if it was still playable in some form.
Yeah, it would be. They haven't said anything about that, unfortunately. So yeah. But hey, you like Time Gal, don't you, Greg?
Sure, I enjoyed Time Gal. I bought Time Gal and finished it before I left the store.
Well,
I loved Time Gal back in the day.
Time Gal,
yeah,
at least on the Sega CD, but it was also a Laserdisc game.
Well, it was originally a Laserdisc game.
Originally, yeah. Is being re-released as part of an LD game collection. That's Laserdisc game collection for Switch. Taito LD game collection includes Time Gal HD remaster, Space Battleship Yamato HD remaster, and Revenge of the Ninja HD remaster. So this has been announced for Japan, and it comes out December 14th on Switch, and you can buy like a nearly $200 special edition that has a Blu-ray disc and some extra tchotchkes as part of it.
What's on the Blu-ray disc? Is it just all the animation?
Good question, Greg. I can't answer that question. I don't know. But
so just to say, the Time Gal on the Sega CD, if you go back and look at that, it's really good quality.
Oh yeah.
Like it's I was kind of shocked when I went back and checked it out recently that the quality of the video in that version is stunning for the Sega CD.
Well, Revenge of the Ninja was on Sega CD as well.
It did not look nearly as good, but yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it. But they were both on there. Revenge of the Ninja is a lot of fun too. Revenge of the Ninja is legitimately funny.
Yes, it is.
The death animations in that are great. But yeah, I mean, that's a cool little collection. I definitely would like to get my hands on it. I'm wondering if this is something that they'll maybe release an English version.
I hope.
Well, both Time Cal and Revenge of the Ninja came out in the US, but the Yamato game did not.
I mean, even if they don't translate the games themselves, like if they release a version that just has an English option for even the menus or something like that, you know what I mean? Like just an officially, or just releasing it officially in this region, I guess. Yeah, like something through Strictly Limited or something like that.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
I've never played the Yamato game. I never even knew it existed.
No,
Me
same
neither.
here.
Yeah, interested in that for sure.
Yeah, but Time Gal is a good time, and like I said, Revenge of the Ninja, I like playing that just because it is legitimately funny. They're both really short.
Yeah.
Well,
they're Laserdisc games.
games.
Laserdisc games are short.
Tend to
Generally.
be,
Yeah. but they're pretty neat.
Yeah.
I like them.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and this sort of reminded me. So, I of course cover Laser Active Games, Pioneer Laser Active Games on Generation 16, and the one. Well, no, there's probably two games that I'm probably never going to get my hands on, but one of them is actually for sale in an auction right now, and that's Time Gal.
Oh,
I think it's going for about $4,000.
oof.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's that, and there's another one called Virtual Australia, which is like a museum style Laserdisc for that system, that are both just obscenely expensive.
You could go to
'cause they
Australia for
very
the
rarely,
price
yeah, pretty much.
of that
They
disc.
very rarely go on auction. So
I
but
see.
yeah, no, Time Gal's a good time. I was excited to see this. I'll definitely pick up some form, but I'm gonna wait and see if we can get an English version before or at least, like I
Yeah,
said,
hopefully
something
we
that'll
do.
work in this region without having to jump through too many hoops. I'll be happy.
Or maybe
with it.
they'll make them downloadable
Yeah, that's what I
digitally,
mean.
like offer them separately instead of as a
something.
collection.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
Would be cool. Would be very cool.
Mhm.
All right. Well, NSO, you guys didn't talk about this last week. NSO added
You didn't talk about it last week.
what? I wasn't on the show last week.
No
They added
excuse.
4 new Sega Genesis games to Nintendo Switch Online. That's Crusader of Senti, Ghouls and Ghosts, Landstalker, and The Revenge of Shinobi.
I might be a little bit biased,
Yeah.
No?
but I'd say as far as Nintendo Online drops go, this has got to be one of the best quality wise.
This is maybe the best one.
It is filled with, as the kids say, bangers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is great. It's a
Nothing
great,
more to say.
No, it's a
about
great
this.
collection. I mean, you've got Revenge of Shinobi is one of the early great games. Revenge of Shinobi and Ghouls and Ghosts, like the first year the Genesis was on the market, those were two games you had to. If you had a Genesis, those were two games you had to.
Oh
have.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Speaking of Yoshinaka, he was the one who ported Ghouls and Ghosts, which was a Capcom arcade game, and it's.
Oh, did you not port that?
Yes.
Oh, I did not realize that.
And like, I mean, I'm not saying it's arcade perfect, but it's pretty damn close to
It's
arcade
real
perfect.
good.
Yeah, like to the point that back in the day, you know, if you couldn't sit them side by side when you were playing it, this is the arcade game. Like it's so completely the arcade game. It's unreal. And then Revenge of Shinobi was just a fantastic action game.
Mm-hmm.
So like those two alone are great. Crusader of Senti is one of the most expensive Genesis games out there right now. It has been for quite a while. But it's just like I played through it last year for an appearance on Games My Mom Found, and I dabbled with it before, but I'd never played through it, and it very much looks like a Zelda clone. And when it starts, it plays like a Zelda clone, but it pretty quickly diverges from that. It's not super long, but it's a lot of fun. It's really easy to play. There's some really interesting play mechanics in it, so it's really cool to have it on the system or on the service, just because. Again, if you're looking for legit ways to get a hold of it and play it, you know, it's hundreds of dollars, and it's a good game. It's not hundreds of dollars good to buy it legitimately. So to have it here, you know, it's great to have it accessible for a lot of people. And Landstalker, again, another great sort of Zelda-like that I also played through a couple years ago. It's got that, I think it's the same character artist who did the early Shining games. I forget their name, but it's got a fantastic style. Like I always love this character, the style of the characters in those games. So the whole world is built like that. So it's got this really great look. It plays really well. It's a good action game. It's a little rough when you get to jumping puzzles because it's in an isometric view and the characters don't cast shadows, so you can get in some really nasty jumping puzzles later on. But yeah, I mean, all 4 games, they're great. So it's a great selection. It's so much better than this sort of random C tier crap that Nintendo likes to drip out on this service for some reason. Yeah, I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. I'm wondering when we'll get some more Japan exclusive games that like never came over. And I think Japan has Kirby Superstar Stacker on NSO now. I'd love to see that
Maybe
in the US selection. But or like Wrecking Crew 98. I'd love to see that come out on NSO. But we'll see. Lastly, I want to talk about Wild Card Football. So I don't know if you saw this announcement. I enjoy the arcade sports games, and this one is from the team that did the NBA 2K Playgrounds games, but it's football. So it looks like a very arcade style football game. I think Colin Kaepernick is their main is like their cover athlete.
Interesting.
But it seems to have, it's not only like Blitz, it also has like, there's UFOs, there's like armor that you can wear, you can customize your character. So it's like very, very arcade style stuff. And there's a bit of deck building apparently as well, where you can use wild cards to turn the tide of the game. Apparently, I'm reading from the press release, and you put in like summoning walls, and in the trailer, there's like a pinball.
Is this a sponsored segment?
No, but this looks like a cool game, and I only am mentioning it because I do enjoy arcade style sports games, and this seems like it'll be a good one.
I see.
That's all. Not sponsored.
Yeah, what was that arcade style sports game that was listed as one of CJ's favorites in last week's EGM?
It was NBA Showtime.
It was NBA Showtime.
Oh, yeah, Showtime.
I call bull on that.
No, NBA Showtime. So I believe because we had an NBA Jam machine in the office for a little while, and then Showtime, I think they swapped it out.
Oh.
So we had a Showtime machine in the office instead. So
Showtime was NBA Jam,
basically.
So the whole thing behind that was that Acclaim somehow weaseled their way into owning the NBA Jam name, did they not?
That's right. Weaseled
so then Midway did Showtime.
That's right.
Yeah, good times.
Yes, good times. So anyway, that is the news for this week. I guess we can get into what you've been playing now. And Greg, we will start with you.
I'm playing a lot more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I noticed neither of you have put that on your outline. I don't know how to feel about that.
You're well over 100 hours at this point.
I'm about 130 now, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm just about ready to tackle the depths.
Oof.
So
yeah,
I just been running around,
like fill in everything in the depths.
Yes, I've just been running around, sort of completing all the side quests. I'm not finding a ton of new side quests now in the overworld, so I think I'm not that they don't exist, but I haven't found them. So I did come across one near the Rito village today as I was running around, getting photos for one of the stables. But yeah, so I'm just sort of, I think I've probably got like a dozen or so side quests left to do there, but I haven't, again, touched much of the Sky Islands at all. I have not really gone into the depths at all. So, but I'm still just loving it. I still will just love to pick it up for like an hour and even doing these side quests and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I'm just going to sing its praises every week until I finish with it. Yeah. It's so not me. It's like,
it seems like you're enjoying this more than Breath of the Wild.
Oh my God, so much more.
Yeah.
Although I will say one thing, and I was talking to your best friend Mike about this last night because he's playing the game as well. And so when we usually get together for dinner like every Saturday night, a group of us, and he and I will inevitably end up chatting about this game a little bit. And one thing, I don't remember if I said it to him, but one thing that it sort of I do notice is I have the Master Sword. Actually, that was the reason I thought about this. He's got the Master Sword as well, but he went about it a completely different way than I did.
Oh, really?
Like, we were discussing it, and because the way I got it was I finished the Geoglyph quest, but you don't need to do that,
Oh, really?
apparently. 'Cause
Oh,
Mike did
that's
it a
how I got it
completely
too.
different way.
That's
Right?
how I got it
So
too.
when I was saying, "Oh, so you finished the Geoglyphs?" And he said, "No." Like, well, wait, that's how you get the Master Sword. That's not how I got the Master Sword. It's like, what?
He did it without the geoglyphs first?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wow. That's amazing. I didn't even know that was possible.
Right. So I learned about
Yeah.
that yesterday. But no, one thing I will say is now that I have the Master Sword, where the destructible weapons with with being able to fuse things,
Mhm.
like the weapons don't break nearly as quickly as they used to the point that it doesn't register too much with me anymore. The Master Sword runs out of energy so fast
It does.
compared
Oh,
to your
really?
fused
Yeah,
weapons.
it
Yeah.
does.
I do like that you can fuse items to the Master Sword, but it doesn't seem to help how long the energy lasts. So it almost feels like a waste. So I still use it, but it's just like, boy, it runs out of steam so quickly. Like that when it says like it's out of energy and it shatters, I switch to something else and it lasts well longer, like longer than the Master Sword. Like the Master Sword will recharge, I'll switch back to the Master Sword, it'll break again. I'll switch back to that same weapon. Like they last a lot longer than the Master Sword. Which is kind of sucks, but yeah, overall I'm still just really digging it a lot. So but yeah,
Cool.
Mike's in the chat saying there's another quest line that leads to the Master Sword, which I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
So yeah, I learned something. The other game that I played briefly this week for about an hour and a half, actually BT Gobbles is in the chat as well. I don't remember if it was him who requested this, but I played Hot Wheels Unleashed. Finally played Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Oh,
Because it's on Game
I played
Pass,
that
right?
game.
Is it on Game Pass? It's
Yeah.
on PlayStation Game Pass. I know that. 'Cause that's how
Oh.
I played it.
Maybe
So-
it's that one. I think
Yeah.
it might be on both.
So yeah, so I had never played it. I know, Phil, you've sung its praises for quite a while now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played it for about an hour and a half. Really enjoy it a lot.
It's fun.
game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It just treads the line of being microtransaction-y, but
Yeah.
it's not too bad. And I will say, like, playing the free version, there's all these like there's like a different themed lands that you can go to, that I was like, oh, I'm super excited to try these. I was like, oh, this is all DLC. All of this stuff is DLC. Which, if I'd paid full price for it, I probably would have been a little irritated at that. But having it on one of the free services, I think each piece is like $6 Canadian is what was my price, was $5.99 each, I think. So I really, it's like, no, that's totally fair. I would, I'm enjoying this enough that I would pay that. And plus I think the game itself is now actually pretty cheap. So, but I loved, it was so cool too, unlocking the different vehicles, because I mean, I think a lot of them are much more much newer than anything that I had when I was a kid.
Right.
But a lot of them are definitely similar styles to a lot of the ones, because I mean, I think a lot of us had huge collection of Hot Wheels and just dinkies and stuff like that in general. That's what I called them. So it was just kind of fun to inspect all the different ones that I was unlocking and sort of reminisce about ones that I might have owned when I was a kid. And of course I got Snoopy's. I got the Snoopy, because he unlocked on its own, and I raced with him mostly for the last half of the night. But yeah,
Back to the Future DeLorean.
No, but I saw it multiple times. I was racing against it a lot.
That's awesome.
The physics took a little bit to get used to, and I was playing. I could have bumped it down to easy, I think, but I was playing on normal. But I did get used to the power sliding after a while. The only thing that I was having trouble with is, man, it was easy to go off jumps and not be facing a good
Oh,
direction.
Definitely.
You just like
Yes.
overshoot your landing or land on the edge of the track and fall off or something like that. So a little bit frustrating here and there, but for the most part, yeah, really, really good time. And like I said, it's on the free services, so you should check it out. And if you like it, I'm pretty sure it's cheap at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and a sequel is coming out
yeah,
in a
this
couple
year, right?
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So in a couple years, I'll try that.
There you go.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I was playing this week.
Wow. All right. Well, I've been playing a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh.
You haven't been playing any Final Fantasy 16, Greg?
No, I want to finish Zelda before I get into that. So
When are you going to finish Zelda?
sometime in October? I don't know.
Well, I started Final Fantasy 16 and I am really enjoying it. I am playing it, of course, with those charms on. I'm playing the story focused mode of this game, and so one of the charms that I have pretty much makes it so that all I have to press is square, and it'll just automatically do
Like the name of the
attacks
company.
for me. Exactly.
That was no coincidence, Greg.
No coincidence there. And I kind of like that. Just I don't have to worry about timing. I don't have to worry about blocking. I just hit the square button and I'm automatically attacking, and it feels
You're
great.
cheating the game and you're cheating yourself.
You are absolutely correct.
Congratulations.
I
Yeah.
am cheating the game and I'm cheating myself, but I'm feeling good.
Loving every second
doing
of it.
Loving every second of it. And I have the charm equipped that gives you the extra time to dodge out of the way. So
Mhm.
dodging
that
is
during the demo.
hitting R1 on the default controls, although they apparently added options that you can change that now to be something different. But yeah, and I use that and I play it on either the PS5 or on the Logitech G Cloud, and it's perfect. I love it. Yeah.
The
Although,
good cloud.
the good cloud, yeah. I will say, so the game looks beautiful. It's one of the best games that I've ever seen, just from a graphic standpoint. But it reminds you that it's a video game, and I posted this on Mastodon, so nobody saw it. So I'm going to say it here.
Wow.
A
little bit of shade there. Okay.
It still has that thing, because you have side quests that are fetch quests in this game, and it still does the very video gamey thing where, okay, you're going to hand over the thing you got to the quest giver. And in this game, it has the camera placed so you see Clive's hand go, all right, I'm giving you the thing, but you never get to see the thing change hands at all. And I mean, that's so typical in video games, like especially in 3D polygonal video games. Like, you are handing something over to the quest giver. No item actually ever changes hands because that's too difficult to do. So yeah, Final Fantasy 16 looks beautiful, still does the thing where the exchange of goods is still done off camera between Clive and the quest giver.
They should really lean into it, though. They should have it where, like, the camera's focusing on you giving something, but then when you go to give it, the camera literally just pans up to nothing.
Up. Yeah.
And then comes back down.
We can't show that. Yeah. And there was one scene where I was with Jill, who's one of the other characters in the game, and I was giving the item to the quest giver, and she was standing in the way with her back to the camera. So you could see Clive put his hand out and the quest giver pick up the thing, but you can't see what it is because Jill's blocking the way. And I thought that was funny, just because no matter how good video games look now, we still have to do the thing where you can't see that part. But yeah, it looks beautiful. My other problem with the game is that even though it looks great, a lot of NPCs that don't have lines just do their little cycle animation without even paying attention to you. So you could be walking up to them, trying to swipe them, and they're still collecting their water or like tending to the fields or whatever they're doing.
They're
like,
set pieces, right?
They're set pieces. They're not NPCs. So we're still at that point where, yeah, even in a video game, and this isn't even an open world video game. This is a very linear game. There are still no interactions really with characters that aren't your main points of interaction. So yeah, but I'm loving it. The visuals are great, the action's good. Yeah, that's all I need.
I definitely want to play it, but I don't know when I'm going to get to it at this point.
When do you think you'll finish Tears of the Kingdom? So months? You're months away.
I don't know.
Are you trying to 100% this game? Is this what
I'm not necessarily trying to 100% it, but I'm enjoying it enough that I want to do the quests I know about. Like I have these sort of in-flight quests. I want to map the depths. I want to explore the Sky Islands. So yeah, I don't know about getting every shrine. I think I have like 90 something shrines now, but that means I still have about 50 to go or something along those lines.
Geez.
So it's like, yeah, I can't. Every now and then when I'm like the whole thing that I've been doing is with these side quests that I'm not fast traveling. I'm just riding the horse all over the place. So if I see a cave or if I, if the little thing starts to bleeping that there's a shrine nearby, I'll look for it. Although half the time I'm finding that there's a shrine underground and I can't find the damn cave entrance anywhere. Right. So yeah. But yeah, I'm just kind of I'm letting it play out for as long as it will until I'm just kind of bored with it and I want to do the end game. So,
by the way, I'm sure you noticed the adjustment to the bleep bleep in this game. It's a lot quieter and than it was in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was very noticeable.
I don't have any detailed recollection of Breath of the Wild. Like stuff like that, I couldn't. If you tell me that's loud. How it is, that's
that shrine radar was very loud.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I've been playing the Pikmin 4 demo. I finished that yesterday, and it lets you play probably about 2 hours of that game. And I loved Pikmin 3. I thought Pikmin 1 and 2 were good games, but Pikmin 3 is where it really took off for me personally. And this one seems like it'll be a repeat of Pikmin 3, where there's just a lot of things to do. You get in an environment and there's just so many different routes that you can take, so many different things you can see, and you're like, oh, I want to go across that water bit there, but I don't have time. I guess I'll take off in my spaceship right now and do that part tomorrow. Some more exploration. And they have caves, which apparently was the thing in Pikmin 2 that they brought back for Pikmin 4. And time does not progress the same way in caves as it does on the surface.
Real life.
Yeah.
Just like real life. So while you have time pressure when you're above ground, you don't have time pressure below ground. So they kind of feel like mini dungeons. And in the demo anyway, there aren't any that are more than like 3 floors. But they have their own little like puzzle challenges onto themselves, and it's just super fun. I love commanding little Pikmin around and destroying bugs and forest creatures. And you actually get to go inside of houses this time around. There's like more than just being in like backyards or parks. There's actually like interior spaces in this one, and that's super fun. The demo kind of starts at that point. Although this kind of feels like instead of being the 4th installment, which it is in number, it kind of feels like a reboot, because you are once again trying to find Captain Olimar. What was that?
It was me dropping something. And my mic really picking it up.
Picking it up.
It really picked it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain Olimar from the first game is he's lost again. But you start off the game playing Captain as him.
Olimar.
So Yeah, I wonder how much they'll do with that. And you can level up your dog now that you have Ochi,
Oh,
who kind of takes the
That's
place
Odie, is
of
what you're trying to say.
what's that?
Odie. His name's Odie.
Odie. Odie's
Yeah.
the dog, right?
Yeah.
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 It kind of takes the place of having multiple characters. Like Pikmin 3, you could have multiple like captains on the field.
Mhm.
And Ochi is able to command Pikmin as well. The dog is able to command Pikmin. So you can kind of you can split up with that and switch between your character, who is you in this game. It's not a character, it's actually quote unquote you. And Ochi, so you can like have two different things going on in this big map. So I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if you guys are into Pikmin. It didn't sound like you were into Pikmin last week.
We were waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the demo is worth playing for sure. There are people complaining that it over tutorializes a little bit, but Pikmin has some pretty unique mechanics to it. So it's worth tutorializing that stuff. Even though, yes, it's a video game, and if you're a gamer, you can probably figure out most of it. But if you're a Switch gamer looking for like a chill vibe kind of strategy action game, you might be into Pikmin. I love it. I love the soundtrack. I love the graphics. They're using the Unreal Engine in this one, so it looks super good. I'm happy we're getting this. Very happy.
All right.
And
CJ,
well, yeah.
with all this Pikmin excitement, did you download the new version of Pikmin 1 and 2?
I did, Phil.
Oh, very
I
nice.
did download Pikmin 1 and 2, and I played a little bit of 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played the 4 demo instead. But yeah, I'll probably pick up and play more of those as we go towards 4, because now that I'm done with the demo, I need more Pikmin. I need to stay ready with these mechanics to play the 4th game. So I mean, it looks great. Pikmin has always been a game that looks just visually awesome.
That is very true.
I never really played that much of the second one.
Oh,
I played a lot of the first one, not as much of the second one. Although I think I reviewed both back in the day.
that tracks.
I also picked up some games on Steam. So Phil, you were talking about Pizza Tower, which I also picked up. I haven't played a lot of Pizza Tower, but I already I kind of like. I'm digging its Wario vibes.
It does have that.
It does. It has that crazy 90s style thin line animation thing going. But I also picked up Dave the Diver. I don't know if you've heard of Dave the Diver.
No.
Dave the Diver.
It is
I've heard of Bob the Builder.
How best to describe Dave the Diver? One part of the gameplay is very similar to Echo the Dolphin in some ways. It's sort of a side-on underwater, undersea scavenging style game.
I did see a video of this. Yeah.
But you're playing as, instead of a dolphin, you're playing as a dude who runs a sushi restaurant and is diving to collect ingredients for the restaurant. But also
it seems like an inefficient way to do things, but continue.
It does seem like an inefficient way to do things. And also there are missions, like research missions, that people send you on, and you find things in the depths and bring back to the surface. And so there's that part of the game, but then there's also like a restaurant management part of the game that I don't know if I think you guys have probably played some of the Kairosoft games on mobile that are kind of
like Diner
Game
Dash
Dev
and
Story
stuff?
and
No,
yeah,
Game Dev Story and yeah.
Oh yeah, like the game. Yeah, I played Game Dev Story.
It gives me some vibes of that as well. But also Diner Dash, because when you open the restaurant each night, you are the one initially anyway bussing tables.
Ah.
And you can hire staff to do it as well, which kind of reminds me of the Kairosoft games because you do that a lot. And what was that game?
Battle
was like,
Chef Brigade.
no. It was an 8-bit looking tower game that I can't remember. I think you were
Tower.
No, Phil, you were really into this series.
Tiny Tower.
Tiny Tower, that's the one. It kind of gives me vibes of that because you're like researching new food items, new menu items. You're like collecting the ingredients and enhancing the flavor of these things, and you're like interacting with the staff characters that you have, and you're training them up to be better or faster at bussing tables or making sushi. And so there's then that second part of the game. So there's like these two parts of the game, and they work really well together. And the game has some like really bizarre humor, but really eye-catching pixel art and pixel art animation as well, and just a really good sense of style. And I played a whole bunch of Dave the Diver, and I'm still kind of addicted to it. It's super fun, and I think it's less than $20, but definitely worth picking up. I think it's like 10% off, so not a huge discount currently, but I am just having a blast with it. You can catch sharks, you can collect tuna. You have to use bombs to collect tuna. Like there's all this weird, and there's like a secret underwater society that you stumble on, and there's all this crazy shit happening. It's great.
Whoa.
My goodness.
It's great fun.
It is currently $17.99 on Steam.
$17.99 on Steam. Yeah.
Unless you want the deluxe edition,
which includes the soundtrack.
Is that all? Is that all?
That's all it is, yeah. But super, super fun little game. I think you'd really enjoy it, Phil.
You know what?
And maybe Greg too.
I just added it to my Steam wish list.
Excellent.
What do you think about that?
Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. I also picked up Kingdom 80s during the Steam sale. I don't know if you've heard of Kingdom 2 Crowns, that game series.
That sounds familiar.
But anyway, they released one that's sort of like 80s themed and very, very Stranger Things like. And it looks cool. And I thought, well, I haven't really been into the Kingdoms games. My daughter's very into the Kingdoms 2 Crown games. So I'll pick this one up and try it and kind of use it as a, do I even like this genre of game kind of thing. It's sort of tower defense-y, but it's sort of side scrolling where you like spend money to upgrade defense towers and hire defenders. And in the case of Kingdom of the 80s, you are running like a summer camp, and you hire children to throw tennis rackets or something at the baddies who are showing up. And so far it's pretty fun. I haven't played a whole lot of it because I've been distracted with Dave the Diver, but this was only like $7. So yeah.
So if you never play it.
So if I never play it again, I'm not going to feel too bad about it.
It is currently $10.79 on Steam.
Yeah.
So $30 in Canada.
Unless you buy the Kingdom Imperial Collection, which
it's a very popular series. This Kingdom 2 Crowns, and Kingdom 2 Crowns is on Apple Arcade. If you're curious on how that plays.
Okay.
And I think it's also on some other service, maybe Game Pass. But and then the final game I'll talk about is Synapse, and this is a PSVR 2 game. And its sort of big claim to fame is that it's by nDreams, who did Fract, which is like a really big name in VR. It's a roguelike shooter, and it has David Hayter, and I can't remember the other voice actress, like a really popular. Hold on,
Tara Strong.
Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale. Yes,
Was I right?
you're right. You're correct.
Hey, look at me.
So yeah, David Hayter and Jennifer Hale are like the big sort of draws because they do voice acting in this game. And the idea is that it's a roguelike shooter where each time you die, you're coming back to this hub world and powering yourself up based on how you did in the last run.
Mhm.
Very familiar sort of roguelike mechanics there. But the idea is each time you're in an environment, there are things that you can. It uses the PSVR 2's eye tracking. So if you like look at a box, you can with your hand like lift the box and throw it at enemies or crush them repeatedly with it. And as you power yourself up, you can use the eye tracking in the PSVR 2 to actually lift up enemies and throw them around too. You can lift explosive barrels, and with the PSVR 2's DualSense, you have to have a very light touch on the explosive barrels. You can't just like squeeze the trigger, otherwise it'll blow up.
That's pretty good.
You have to
like that.
very lightly grab the explosive barrel and throw it, and then if you're looking at it, you can crush it immediately and it'll blow up, killing whoever's nearby. So there's like a lot of eye tracking fun to be had in this game. Some of the platforms that you need to navigate, like there's an elevator or whatever, you can use your telekinetic powers to raise and lower. You have to be looking at that thing and then you raise and lower it with your hand. It's very cool.
Mind?
Very cool. Not your mind, no.
Lame.
Yeah, I mean, you reach out and you look at the thing, and
they had mind controllers on the 2600 for God's sake.
They did. They did. But this is a super cool sort of run-based game, and the shooting is fun, although it's way more fun to crush enemies with the boxes and explosive barrels.
Hear the lamentation of their women?
What's that?
Crush your enemies. Drive them before you. Hear the lamentation of their women?
I guess so.
That's a Conan.
He's
Come on, that's
making
a Conan the
reference
Barbarian reference.
to an old Conan O'Brien skit.
Sorry, I didn't get that. But also there's like you find currencies in the world that you power up certain things during your run. So it's kind of like Hades in that way. Like you choose, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get some health back instead. Or, oh no, I'm going to power up my my weapons. Or when I kill an enemy, they explode instead of just crawling over and dying. So things like that. And I put on my little seasickness band because there ain't no way I was gonna be able to play this without that. But yeah, the arenas that they have you in, you like really run around pretty quickly. They're sort of like enclosed arenas. So you do a lot of running around, running behind cover. They have a cover system, so you like grip with your hand and like pull yourself up and down behind cover to shoot. It works pretty well. So yeah, I've been playing Synapse, a little bit of that. I streamed it, and you can find a video, like an hour-long video of me playing it and dying spectacularly, but also crushing opponents with boxes.
Fantastic.
That's all that matters.
Hearing the lamentation of their women.
And that also, yes. And that's all I've been playing. Well, it's not all I've been playing, but I guess that's all I'm going to talk about for now. So, Phil.
Uh-huh.
What do you got for us?
What don't I got for you? I picked up on the Nintendo Switch this week. They released a new Pinball FX game.
Yeah.
Confusingly titled Pinball FX.
Right.
It's a Pinball FX game.
Even though I believe available on Switch is Pinball FX 3.
Yeah.
But
this came out on every platform, right?
Yeah. but yeah, this is just Pinball FX, and it has different tables than what's on Pinball FX. It's very confusing. I don't understand the Pinball FX ecosphere because there seems to be a bunch of different releases, and they all have different tables, and they don't seem to communicate with each other. So if you buy a table on one release, it's not playable on the other one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very confusing. But I downloaded this one and I picked up a few because it's a free download. And you get I think a couple of tables for free, maybe just one. But I picked up a couple of the DLC packs specifically because one of the packs is a Godzilla versus King Kong.
There
I
we
saw
go.
that, yeah.
You got a Godzilla table, you got a Kong table, and then a Godzilla versus Kong table.
Wow.
There's also a Snoopy pinball table as well.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that's got Phil
It's
written
like they
all
made
over
for
it.
you.
So it's like let's get a pinball game with a bunch of wacky licenses that nobody but Phil's
all
gonna
of the
care
things
about.
you're incapable of not buying in
Yeah.
one place.
So I'm looking forward to a Yurushi Yatsura and Kamen Rider pinball table at some
Oh,
point.
Mega Man table.
Hey,
Yeah.
is that
Kid Mickey
reboot
table?
of Yurushi Yatsura still going on?
It is on
did it
break right
finish?
now. They aired the first 24, 26 episodes.
I assume you watched all of those.
It was quite good. I was
Okay.
very pleased with it.
That's awesome.
And the second half is going to be next year. 2024, I believe. I think early 2024 it comes back.
Wait, are they only doing 2 seasons of it?
Well, I believe technically it's just one season.
Oh,
Or maybe they are counting it as 2 seasons.
Mhm.
They when they brought it back, they said we're doing 52 episodes, something like that.
yeah.
And yeah, they're splitting it into 2 halves. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
first
cool.
half is done, second half on its way. They did a bang up job with it.
But-
It's really good.
Excellent. Excellent.
I thought the whole Rumiko Takahashi, like, she's the one who created Ursi Yatsura, right?
Yeah.
She did.
But I thought the whole point of her shows was that they just go on forever and ever and never resolve anything.
Well,
This doesn't seem in the spirit
Well, this
of
this
the original is what I'm
is
getting
this
at.
is it's a reboot, so they're retelling a lot of the same stories.
Okay.
You know, you're getting a because it's you're getting a redo of it just with animation that's not from 1981.
yeah.
Something wrong with the animation from 1981.
No, there isn't.
Well,
Don't get me
no.
wrong.
I
Kids
just
these
want to say
days-
I'd like some credit for knowing that Rumiko Takahashi created Urasi Yatsura.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not
would
an
like
anime
to
guy,
see
so-
a Ranma and Half.
I would
reboot as
Absolutely
well.
watch.
I'd
It
be all
actually
for it.
has a beginning,
love that
middle, and
show.
end. That'd be fun.
But
Yeah.
that was the thing. I loved that show, but after a while, I was just like, oh my god, nothing is happening anymore. Like,
Oh.
Well, it was different when you were buying tapes that had 2 episodes per tape
True.
and came out
Very
every
true.
6 months.
Very
And it was
true.
like, well, nothing is happening in the show.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's like 80 episodes.
But I
or-
loved the characters in the story.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Me too. That was a great one.
Now, which of the classic Rumiko series, and I'm talking like Urusei Yatsura, Meisani Koku, and Ranma 1/2.
Yeah.
Which of those-
Inuyasha?
Huh?
No Inuyasha? You're not counting that?
I mean, I don't want to say Inuyasha's too new because
Yeah.
Inuyasha is like
They
20
bringing
years
in,
old.
Mermaid
gonna say.
Scar or any of the other
Oh,
Rumiko
Married
World?
Scar, I saw
Well,
that.
you tell me, CJ, which of Rumiko's series, and you know what? Let's open up the floor to all of them. Which one of those series is the favorite of Anime Loving Prospector?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. Rootin' tootin' anime prospector here.
There he is.
Wow, that really transitioned.
Took him a
not
minute
sure
to find
who
his
that was
voice
to begin
but
with.
but he's back.
I had some mine dust in my throat. I'm so sorry.
That's
all right.
understandable.
I prefer the Ranma 1/2.
Ranma.
And why is that, anime loving prospector? What?
It's all down to Hoppo-sai, the panty stealing lecherous
Oh,
character.
I
course
see.
it
I see. Does that take you back to your younger days?
It does indeed.
Before I let you go, anime loving prospector, can I get a little
Yes.
yap-pa-pa from you?
Yeah, papa, yeah, papa.
There it is.
He doesn't know the next line.
Yeah.
I don't really speak Japanese.
I can't sing nothing.
So anyway, yeah, that's the
Wow.
pinball game that came out this week,
Right.
which I'm very excited about. No, I was playing that. I still suck at. Boy, do I suck at pinball games. I'm no good at pinball games,
Me either, but I like them.
but I do. I love them so much. They have one of the little gimmicks in this game is you have a little virtual room that it's like your hub world where you select what table you want, and there are shelves in this room, and you can decorate it with little items that you earn by playing
Love
the
it.
pinball games.
Oh, fun.
So, the problem, of course, is that you have to be good at the game to earn points to unlock these.
Oh,
So it's a little slow going for me, but I've only unlocked one of the Snoopy items so far, but I've unlocked a handful of Godzilla stuff. So
Hmm.
they also have Garfield pinball on there.
I'm listening.
Which, there you go. They got some My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic.
Okay.
Some DreamWorks pinball if you like the Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda is a good movie. I enjoy Kung Fu Panda.
I haven't seen Kung Fu.
Kung Fu Panda is good. Kung Fu Panda 2 was quite good. I never saw the third one. So I cannot comment.
I just watched the third. I think it's the third. Maybe I don't know if it's the fourth. The latest Hotel Transylvania before we started recording.
Oh.
I have not seen that.
It was a movie. It wasn't bad, but it's
Is that
run its course.
Is that the one where Adam Sandler didn't
Right.
star in it?
Same with what's his name who played Frankenstein? Big dumb
Kevin James?
Kevin James.
There
He
you
didn't
go.
come back either. Seemed like
There.
everybody else did, but they didn't.
Okay.
It was okay. It was fun to sit and watch with my youngest. She wanted to watch it, so
Okay. So I got that. I've been enjoying the pinball. I also picked up for the Switch all the stuff I played this week was on Switch actually. I picked up they did a re-release, a modern day re-release of a classic but relatively unknown here in the West. In North America, I suppose I should say. The Famicom game called Gimmick, which was released.
Sunsoft game, right?
It's a Sunsoft game. It was a very late Sunsoft release for the Famicom. I forget what year it came out, but yeah, the Super Famicom was already out, I believe. So Sunsoft did not opt to release it over here. It did get a release in Scandinavia, of all places.
Interesting.
Under the title Mr. Gimmick. But it is mostly just kind of been a Japan thing. But it's been released over here. It is a critically acclaimed game. It has excellent graphics. It has excellent soundtrack, especially for an 8-bit NES Famicom game. But yeah, now they released it here. The digital version is out now. I know Limited Run is doing a physical release if you are looking to play it in like a year and a half, 2 years. You can get that. But I picked it up and I was trying it out, and it is very impressive. But boy, is it tough.
Difficult.
It's hard. Yeah, I picked this up too.
Yeah, it is. It is really tough, and you know, a big chunk of the reason why it's so tough is that awful attack.
Yeah.
So Gimmick, it's a platformer. It's a little side-scrolling platformer where you're a little green blob running around fighting other little blobs, and to attack, you hold down your attack button and you generate this star above your head, and it takes a second or two for the star to fully form, and then once it does, you throw it, but you don't throw it straight ahead. You kind of throw it at a weird angle, and it bounces around the screen for a bit, which makes it a little difficult to judge where it's going to go. Makes it difficult to aim at actual enemies. It also moves very quickly as it bounds around the screen. And you can only fire off one at a time. So if you miss, you have to kind of wait for it to go off screen or dissipate away, which it does after a few seconds, if it bounces around a bit, before you can fire off another shot. There's also the Gimmick, where the star you throw can act as a platform. So sometimes to get to like secret areas and things like that, you have to throw your star and then quickly jump on it and quickly jump off of it, because this thing moves very, very quickly. So you have to have like just lightning fast reflexes to actually use it as a platform. So it's a tough game. I've just played through like the first 2 stages. I used the rewind function a lot.
I was like, I'm having problems with this game. Maybe I'll look at the manual. And they do have the manual in
I had the same problem,
but
I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I don't understand the mechanics. I'm going to read the manual.
Read the manual. Well, they have the manual in here.
They
have
do.
the Japanese manual, and they have the Scandinavian manual.
Yep.
Not in English.
Not
Neither
in
of which
English.
are in English.
There's no
English manual.
That's
English
awesome.
language instructions in this game.
Who thought that
That's
was a
awesome.
good idea?
Guess what I did last night when I was playing this game?
Little Google
What?
Translate.
Oh, even better.
Ah.
I haven't done this. I don't know the last time. It's been years and years and years. I went to GameFAQs. I read someone's FAQ,
Wow.
complete with an ASCII art recreation of the game's logo at the top.
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, oh, it's like I'm back in 2002.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game. It feels like I should be able to enjoy this, but I don't know what the controls are. And
Yeah.
I was like, do I have to jump on enemies' heads? No,
No,
you do not do that.
no, you hit him with the star.
Yeah, you hit him with the stars. So what other moves are there? I can't tell because I can't read the manual.
There's something, because you can collect items as well.
Yeah, I was like, how do I use this item? I have a potion now. How do I use it? I have no idea.
I think you hold up and hit attack, if I remember correctly, or down and attack. It's one of those two, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, load up GameFAQs.
Okay.
And get all
I like the
the,
rewind function. Rewind functions in just retro collections should just be
They should be
thing.
standard.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm playing a little bit of the Sonic Origins Plus collection,
Oh, yes.
and that does not have rewind. Unless they're hiding it from me, and I wish it did.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, you could cheat your way through the bonus rounds with that.
you could, yeah.
And you know what? Why can't you?
They already
games-
let you kind of cheat your way through the bonus rounds in that you can spend one of your lives to.
Oh, yeah,
retry
that's
it.
right. Well, it's not
Yeah.
even lives, right? It's just rings. Isn't
It's
it?
rings, but it's lives. It's technically lives.
Oh, okay.
Because lives are not in that game.
Oh, okay.
Big coins or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's good. It's very clearly a quality 8-bit platformer.
Yes.
It's a shame that we didn't get it years ago when it was first released. But it's nice that it's available now. But if you do pick it up, be prepared for a challenge, and maybe learn to read Scandinavian.
Maybe.
Is that the name of the written language? Scandinavian?
I don't know. It's
I don't either.
Nordic.
I don't know.
One of the Nordic.
I
I'm
don't know.
I'm not going to say anything further, so that I avoid being accidentally disparaging.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my Scandinavian friends. I know so little about your culture.
Yeah.
But Lego is in Denmark. I know that much. I also picked up. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. I picked up the hot new Capcom release. Speaking of modern day re-releases of older games, I picked up a Ghost Trick :
Oh wow.
Phantom Detective, which was
Yes.
originally a DS game.
DS game. Yeah.
It was like the not 3DS but DS, correct?
Dual screen.
It was the
Yes.
dual screen game for the Nintendo DS family of systems from Capcom, which I was always interested in, and I had heard naught but good things about it, but I never got around to playing it. So I am happy that it is available now on modern systems. And I picked it up and started playing it. And boy, it seems cute. What a treat. Have you guys seen this game? Have you played this game?
I played it way back when.
Oh, did you really?
way
Did you
back when
finish it?
as well?
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay.
This is
CJ?
from I did not finish it
Okay.
either. This is from the same designer as the Phoenix Wright series, is it not?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
It definitely has that kind of vibe to it,
Mm-hmm.
even though the gameplay is extremely different. It is not that same
Sure.
kind of visual novel detective type game that Phoenix Wright is. This is it is definitely a narrative driven game, and it's kind of puzzle themed, but instead of the Phoenix Wright style where you're going around like looking at a scene and digging for clues and kind of piecing them together to solve a case that way. You are a ghost. You are a recently deceased fellow who discovers that he has ghost tricks.
Oh.
And can possess objects within an area. And much like Player One podcast favorite Haunting starring Poltergeist, you can possess objects and then cause them to move around or to react in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do this to solve puzzles. And you also the game throws a lot at you at the beginning. Because not only are you given the hey, you can possess things and manipulate objects, but you can also travel back in time as a ghost, and you can, if someone is murdered, you can try and stop their murder by manipulating objects in the past, and then you can go into the present and stuff like that. So but it's a very clever game. It's very cute, it's very funny, and I'm digging it so far.
Nice.
So
there's a demo of that game
is there?
On the eShop, and I think it came out on other platforms as well, and I think I saw a demo on at least PS5.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's worth checking out.
Yes, absolutely. I am actually looking right now. Did they do? Oh, they did do a Steam version. It is available on Steam as well. So
there you go, perfect for Steam Deck.
With a demo. There's also a demo of it. So
nice.
Yeah, if you have any interest, it looks like it's playable on all sorts of the systems. But yeah, I'm excited to play through this. I've played through because it's divided up into chapters, and I played through the first couple chapters so far. So
Okay.
I'm having a good time with it. But that's it. That's what I'm playing.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Oh, it's time for the tweet song.
That'd be your cue.
A tweedle diddle tweedle tweet tweet and a tweet tweet.
Alrighty. We got this one from Hacker Alias, Mr. Nelson, who asks, what were some of your favorite video game television commercials from the 80s and 90s? Did any of them
Oh my god.
work as you were begging your parents to take you to Toys R Us to buy something?
First of all, we didn't have a Toys R Us here, so no.
Oh,
Ugh.
what about video game
Heartbreaking.
commercials, though?
I mean, I don't know. A lot of the standard ones, like the original Zelda commercial, was amazing.
The one with the
You know,
rat.
it just stuck with you. It was so the guy running around in the black. I think it was in black.
Yeah,
spandex,
and
wasn't
black.
he?
He's like a black turtleneck, and
Yeah.
Oh, the Zelda.
yeah.
Believers,
Tights.
which
that
way
one.
to go?
Yes. That was a
That
good one.
was great.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to play Zelda.
I think that's the one I remember the most.
Yeah. I remember the Mike Tyson one where they were singing "Now You're Playing with Power."
Oh yeah, the
He
punch
was-
out
for
where he's
Punch
like in
Out.
front of the giant bank of TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, can you
Mm.
believe? I think in an interview a couple years ago, he said that he never played Punch Out.
I believe that. Why would
Yeah.
you have played it?
Why would he?
I guess that's true.
Cash those checks, baby.
I guess.
But I mean, otherwise, for me, in the 80s and 90s, like it was still the Sega, the whole Sega Scream
Scream.
series
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
ads. Every one of them was great. Like,
Yeah.
even before that, starting with the whole Sonic versus Mario, like that famous commercial where it's the first person where the kid walks into the store and the salesman's trying to sell him Super Nintendo and he keeps looking over at Sonic and says, "I want Genesis." But everything after that with the Sega Scream was iconic. They kept outdoing themselves.
One old ad that always stood out to me that I loved was the commercial for Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, which that was the first game to feature Wario, and this was an animated commercial, and it was just basically just Wario's face with kind of like a hypno swirl background. And it was just Wario, just like, I am Wario, defeat Mario. And it was this very humorously animated, just Wario yelling at you to play that to play his game and to get rid of Mario.
The other one, now that you're talking about Mario, that pops to mind that I can't believe didn't immediately was the Mario 3 ad.
Oh yeah, with the
Where it
big
just starts with that one guy going Mario,
Yep.
and it pulls out, and it's just the United. Well, it's mostly North America. That was a great ad as well. That really stuck with you. Yeah,
Completely.
didn't hurt that it was the game everybody wanted.
Yeah.
At the time, Going further back though, Phil Hartman's ice hockey ad for I think it was Activision
Yeah.
for the 2600.
What about the Jack Black Pitfall ad?
I don't remember that one. I know it exists, but I don't remember ever seeing it. But I do remember seeing. I mean, I'm in Canada, so maybe they just played this one more. I didn't know it was Phil Hartman at the time. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
But I do remember him being in that ad.
And I don't remember seeing that Jack Black Pitfall commercial when I was a kid. I mean, I'm sure I probably did, but I don't remember
sure
it.
I did too. I only remember it after YouTube existed. And,
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. I just sent you lads a link to that Mario Land 2 commercial.
What about the Crash Bandicoot?
I was just gonna say
outside of
Oh, yeah,
Nintendo
of
headquarters.
course.
Exactly what I was about to say. The
Classic
Crash Bandicoot
ones.
ad was fantastic.
Yes.
The guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit.
That was
Yep.
a lot of good memories.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Did any of the ads work in terms of begging your parents to go to the store and buy anything?
No, but I think it'd be. I definitely say all those Nintendo ads worked in desperately making me want an NES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Punch Out,
Same.
I'm not sure about Punch Out, but I know for sure Zelda came out before we had one. Because Zelda 2 was out by the time we got our Nintendo. So, that was that definitely worked on me. And I think I have to say that the Sonic ad, the first Sonic ad, probably worked pretty well on me as well, because I was waiting for a Super Nintendo in like 1990, and by 91 I was ready to go with a Genesis instead. That was the year I got my Genesis. So those definitely worked on me. I was a little old to beg my dad to go take me buy something at Toys R Us at that point, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a show.
Oh,
I think that's it.
All right.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or @P1Podcast @Mastodon.social, or why the heck not? Threads, whatever. We'll have an account on there at some point. It's just an Instagram account, right?
Sure.
That site is a mess.
I hate Threads.
Oh, it's
I
terrible.
really don't like it.
It's just the worst.
Which means that's going to be the one that takes off.
I signed up for it and looked at it for about 5 minutes, and I was just like, "Ooh, this is not for me."
This is,
No, thank you.
Although the way I browse Twitter, apparently I'm not running into the 600 tweets thing a whole lot, because I've been able to view it with really no problems.
No, well, there you go.
So, although that whole thing is BS, like what the hell is going on with that whole thing? But hey, I'm on Mastodon and I'm loving Mastodon, and everybody should go to Mastodon because that's where I am. That's the social network I'm on.
You are
You're really
invested.
laying it on thick.
I
Yeah.
enjoy Mastodon. I really like it. I follow some hashtags. I recently followed the retro games hashtag on Mastodon, so I see a lot of really cool stuff. And yeah, I like it. I like the people who are on Mastodon too. They're all my very good friends. You know who you are.
Okay.
Greg's on there. He's one of my friends. Benjamin Rivers, also a friend. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We also have a website. It's player1podcast.com. You can go there and see our contact information or blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart, Generation 16 episodes there as well. And we have our show notes, which have links to all the things that we talked about. And there's also a link to our Discord server in those where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
You got it.
I got there eventually.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so at player1podcast.com. I'll be loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on. Oh wait, Stitcher's not a thing now?
I think they closed the service in August.
Yeah.
Oh,
It still exists, but it won't.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions. Pretty much just those places, I think. So typically we record on Sunday evenings at 5:30 Pacific time. So just follow our Twitter account or Mastodon if you're one of
Those.
yeah, to find out when we're doing our next live show. But yeah, it's typically around this time. Tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Anime Loving Prospector's got a lot of old VHS tapes he's still looking to get a hold of.
I don't need no Crunchyroll.
Oh boy, that's good. No, your Patreon funds help support our show, keep us streaming and all that stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode that we record right after this one. We play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yeah.
now that you're back,
Yeah.
do we have a game this week?
We do.
Oh, what is it?
It is an anime game.
Oh, speaking of,
from Hacker Alias Scoop Jessica, with categories of various anime genres, as well as a potpourri category of anime prospector favorites.
really?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I had
So
no
apparently I need
idea.
to do the voice for the entire category. So
I had no idea we had an anime themed game this week.
that's correct.
What a delightful
delightful.
coincidence.
That's
Looking
right.
forward to it.
Yeah. Greg, I'm sure you'll do great.
Let's
Let's play.
There's a Robotech category.
It'll
Greg
be
will also
CJ
be
and me on one team
That's right.
and Greg on the other. And we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exciting. I can't wait. Tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward, where you can help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Channel sales.
Thank you, Philip. And then if you are a supporter of the $5 variety, sorry.
Oh, that's also cheap.
Oh, hi, Satan.
I was gonna.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
I was gonna say, Greg, you gonna do an expose on that 272 page PDF that has
No,
emails
there
from
are
Tom
other
Kalinske?
there are other people that are probably going to do that. Although it was pretty interesting. Yeah, there was that big 272 page PDF that came out from Sega of America 1996 ish. Some interesting stuff
Yeah.
in there, including like a layout of the E3 booth they were planning and all that sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, I'll probably talk about that eventually at some point. But no, you get access to the weekly commute, which is a weekly vlog series that I do where I talk about stuff like that.
Mhm.
Along with what I'm working on currently. Going through some of my old reviews on Gaming Age, still going through a bunch of old N64 reviews. Was playing South Park 64 the other day.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sure was a game. But yeah, and you know, anything else that sort of comes to mind, like what I really think of Phil and CJ, and I love them. That's what I think of them.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Greg. Thank
Oh,
But
this is
please,
really
please
beautiful.
do consider supporting the show. Excuse me, the show.
Yes.
I glitched there a little bit. Yeah, please do support it. It goes towards things like paying for the Adobe licenses that I use because I don't use pirated software. And the 300 or 400 views I get per video don't pay for them. So
Oh,
I need your help. Thank you.
very nice. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. CJ,
Yaha.
always a treat to have you back.
Thank you, Phil, for letting
I-
me back on this podcast.
I hate seeing you go,
well, I won't
but-
be here next week or the
but I
week
love
after.
watching you leave.
See ya.
Mhm.
No, just kidding. I'll be here
Mhm.
next week.
Want some
I'll be-
fries to go with that shake?
Oh, baby. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you
Thank you, Phil.
for showing up as well.
Just thinking of CJ Shake.
Understandable. Greg taking a break from his beautiful cooking to grace us.
right.
I
That's
saw you. I
right.
saw it. I saw
I'm
it.
trying to attract, trying different things to attract dates. So
Greg's.
that's my next thing.
If you're not following Greg on social media, he's posting some pictures of his oily balls.
It's not going to help. You're not helping.
It's a lovely presentation. And of course, thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single one of you, as always, take care of yourself, your loved one, your family, your friends. Be nice to each other. Be nice to yourself, for crying out loud. And we hope
Every night.
oil them up and see what happens. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You weird